Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Power Within. I am your host, Lauren. You are the 1%. Let that sink in. You are the chosen. Not everybody gets to wake up in this lifetime. But if you're watching this type of content and other content, you were chosen. Recently, I was watching a real estate show about the lives of billionaires. And there's a place in New York City where all the billionaires live. It's called Billionaire Row. And he was taking a shot of the morning sun from one of these views that overlooked the whole Manhattan. You could see almost Connecticut, all of Long Island. And he said, we're trying to normalize this lifestyle that only 0.01% will ever experience. It's probably true. And I got to thinking, that's like us. Only 0.001% get to experience that we are the power, that we are the operant power. Look around. Look around at your family, your neighbors, people you work with, people you are around at your kids' school or functions, the gym, the grocery store. People are asleep. And I know in this community, it seems like there's so many of us, thousands, maybe millions, but there are billions of people on this planet. Billions caught up in the illusion of work and effort, and that person did it to me, and I can't succeed because of what my mom said, and if it wasn't for my taxes, or it wasn't for the government, or if I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't have to be a slave, I wouldn't have to pay all these bills. If it was my mother-in-law was nicer, if I had a bigger house, if I had a house cleaner, if I had a partner that supported me, all wrapped up in the illusion of other. And might even go to their grave, still hanging on to that illusion. You are the 1%. You were chosen. And to whom much is given, much is required. That is why we continue to go through things that are maybe not that pleasant. Because let's be honest, if everything was exactly the way you wanted it to be, you had the money, you had the partner, you had the business, the vacations, whatever you wanted, the right friends, wouldn't it be so easy to go back to sleep? I know, for me, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Because there was a season where I had a lot of nice things, but I was asleep. I was complaining. I was grumbling. I was not grateful. We're not here just for person, places, things, circumstances. I know this community sort of boasts that a little bit, And it's wonderful to experience those things. It's wonderful to see potentialities manifested. But don't forget really why you're here. Because you're chosen. You're chosen to wake up out of the illusion. You see, that's the game. That is the game. To come into these mortal bodies as the great I am, as the operant power, to go to sleep. And like Sleeping Beauty, to be kissed by the spirit of awareness. Sometimes that kiss is a breakup, a marriage ending, financial ruin, health issues, issues with your family, your children. Sometimes that kiss isn't a sweet one. But it got you awake. And it is so easy to fall back asleep. And how do we fall back asleep? We forget who we are. We start to blame and complain and grumble. We start to look at our circumstances as something that is not our responsibility, not something that we chose. But we did. Maybe on an unconscious level, but we chose it. And that's how we go back asleep. And person, places, things, experiences can very easily put us back asleep. Your number one aim is to remember that you are the great I am. You are the operant power. You are the infinite power. And yes, you can enjoy all those wonderful things. Let them come. But that's not the game. The game is to know who you are. As within, so without. That is the game. The 1%. My friends, we are the black sheep. We are the ones the world thinks that we're crazy. So be it. Accept who you are. You don't have to go tell them. Just let them sleep. They want to sleep, let them sleep. Neville talks about a conversation he had with a janitor. I believe it was a janitor. And how he was getting temporary work. And so he would get temporary work, it would end, and then he would get more temporary work. And he was saying, don't you want, a full position? Not all this temporary work, something more permanent. And he said that his soul spoke to the man's soul, his soul, and said, don't you dare wake me up. Don't you dare wake me up. There are some people who don't want to wake up. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, they don't have the hunger to know who they are. My friends, things come and go. Relationships that are here will soon pass away. Homes that you want will soon be sold. Planes and jets that you will ride in will be given to another. This is the world of temporal things. And yes, we get to enjoy them. But we must remember, we are the chosen ones. And more than anything, we have to stay awake. And if we don't stay awake, I think that's why certain things happen to us. Because we fall back into the illusion and we start choosing the illusion again and again and again and again. Like I said before, if you had everything that you wanted, would you get up and meditate every day? Would you do your visualizations? Would you sit in silence? Would you read the books that you read? Maybe say your affirmations, maybe do your journaling. And it's not about that. It's about your focus being within. When everything without is exactly the way you want it to be, are you really going to go within? And this is not an advocate for suffering, that we're supposed to suffer. No. But it is another level of awakening. A looking within and saying, wow, how awake am I? Do I stay awake during the day? Do I fall into blame or complaining? Do I blame my circumstances? And if I really got what I wanted, would I stay awake? I can honestly say that the trauma, years of trauma, that woke me up was so worth it, because I can sit truthfully with that experience. And it was hard to go through, and there are many little ones that were hard to go through after that. Grateful and thankful, because it shook me out. It shook me out of the illusion. I remember just being like, I just want out. I just want out. I want to close my eyes and I don't want to be here any longer. And that was really just my ego dying. My ego dying, and the Christ, the great I am within, rising up within me. Because there was always a little piece of me that was hanging on. And that was the great I am. That was the infinite power within me, trying to burst through, trying to break the shell of Lauren. I didn't understand it then, because trauma and pain and suffering are not your friend. Woo! They're rough to go through. And I've had my share. Many gifts. But as I sit in this spot where I am today, knowing that is what needed to happen for me to wake up. And no matter how rough it is right now for you, how the circumstances are just not what you want. Maybe you're getting beaten down. I've been there. Think about how special you are, because you're chosen. It really gets me almost emotional. Actually, it does get me emotional. Because who am I? Who are you to be chosen to awaken? To know that we are the operant power. To know that there's nothing without us that has not come from within. And to know that, and to tweak it, and to take full responsibility for our lives and accept what we have created. And have respect for what we've created, because we are God. We are the gods that have come down into mortal bodies. And that's how powerful you are. That you could keep creating maybe unfavorable circumstances, but look how powerful you are. Because you are chosen. You are not running around in a fog, in darkness, in the veil of illusion. You woke up. You woke up. Now stay awake. Stay awake. Be true to yourself. Don't fall back asleep again. And remember, you are the 1%. We talk about the 1% running the world. You are the 1% running the world within. You have more power than the 1% that's playing in the illusion, that thinks that they have the control. But you, my friend, you are the 1%. So when you hear that, the 1%, that's me. That's me. I was chosen. I was chosen to wake up. And I thank for all these circumstances, and I thank for the trauma, and I thank you for the pain, because I was chosen. Remember, the infinite power